Okay, we're back. Maybe it'll stay this time. That is one thing that I do just about every morning. A lot of times I'll listen to him when I'm in the shower, just as like a pump me up kind of thing, to kind of get started with the day and tackle all the things. I don't know, everybody, you'll find your voice, but there is something about like Denzel Washington, Matthew McConaughey, Will Smith, Les Brown, like those voices that just like, oh, Simon Sinek, I love his, that just fire you up and get you going. And sometimes I was watching another one this morning that was actually with Kobe Bryant, just talking about, like the commitment levels and basketball and, the things that he used to do. And in that one, I can send that to y'all too, if I can find it again, because I just kind of had him on feeds because I was up pretty early this morning. But it was talking about, like I've watched Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and all of these people. And I thought, I don't know if I can get there. Like, I don't know if I can be at that level, but I sure as heck can try. And he was like, and I didn't, like, I wasn't the fastest. So I worked for it. My vertical was 40. And so I worked to get it at 45, 46. I don't have the biggest hands in the league, but I worked to make them really strong so I could palm the ball. And I mean, clearly all about basketball and training. And, I worked for 20 years to get where I'm at. But what do we see? We see the highlight reels of his life, especially now after all of the tragic stuff that happened last year with his family. Right? Like there's so many things that we look at and we're like, man, that guy is amazing. But we don't see the 20 years leading up to it. We don't see the daily day-to-day work. And that's something that I want every single one of you to realize. And I loved that this morning with the Denzel Washington one, because it is, right? It's about us. It's about what we ask for. It's about what we work for. It's about the time that we put into it. Matthew McConaughey and Greenlight. So good. Agreed. Agreed. And that's what I want. Like you will have another point today where it's like we talked about yesterday, right? Like you have those choices to make. Are you going to make it a bad 5 minutes? Are you going to make it a bad 5 days? You get to decide. And in those moments when you need another pick-me-up video, literally go to YouTube and type in motivational video. There are some that are a minute long, 3 minutes long. Type in Les Brown. He's got one that talks about like how many people and how many, like the wealth of knowledge that is buried in a graveyard. And I know that that's crazy to think about maybe, and it seems morbid and all the things, but guy, it is so true. Like how many things are you harboring right now? I don't want to leave that. Like I want my kids to know about this stuff. I want to be able to instill that. I want to be able to build a legacy for them. And it's not about the whole world knowing my name. It's about knowing that I added value, right? Like you get to decide that every single day. So when you're faced with those moments, decide, where are we going to take it? What are we going to do with it? And that's one of the things. I was doing a coaching call yesterday with somebody, and I don't think that this is talked about enough, that we can listen to all the motivational videos, right? We know where we want to be. We know the things that we want in our future, but sometimes the thing that is stopping you from getting there, and for some of y'all, this is going to sound crazy, but it's the fear of success. What does that look like? Because how many times have you had, and I'm pretty sure that if we went around, everybody has had somebody that's done this to them. You start succeeding and other people don't like it. Not because they don't want to see you successful, but because it points out to them what they're not successful in. And so what do they want to do? They want to keep you small. And so what do? They say something like, oh, you've changed. You're darn right I have. And I love that I have. Change doesn't have to be a bad thing. There is a reason that strangers, and I know because I've had a lot of you say this before, I don't understand why it is easier to talk to strangers than it is to talk to my family. How many of us have felt that? I don't understand why a group of women that I have never met before are some of my biggest supporters, but people that have been with me for 40 years can't get on board with this. Not even that they can't get on board with the products, but they can't just be like, man, you ranked up. Congratulations. Like, I'm really proud of you. Why not? Because it highlights the things that they're not doing. I've told you guys this over and over again, but something that my counselor, and it always sticks with me. You're in a shopping mall, you're on the third floor when you start Plexus, and you're there with all of the people that you've done life with so far. You like the same stores, you like this. That's why you're friends with these people, right? Because you migrate to people that have the same interests, that have the same likes. And a lot of times, what is that based on? Childhood friends. I see it with my kids, and it's hard for me because Riley is getting to the age where she is making her own friends, and it's outside of like people that we are friends with, right? My kids have always been friends with the people that I'm friends with and their kids. And now she's able to make up her own mind and go and hang out. And that's hard because I don't know those people. Up until now, her life has been pretty defined for her, right? Our lives, in some sense of the way, are pretty defined for us. When I moved to a different town with my husband, a lot of my friends became his friends' wives. I got to choose, right? But it's still your circle. It's still the people that are there. And what starts happening when you start growing? Not everybody is willing to grow with you. Some people, it's easier, and we've talked to 10 about this, it is easier to stay stuck. Not that it's not hard at the end of the day, but because in those moments, like we talked about yesterday, right? It's easier to pick up that chocolate because that instant gratification tastes so much better than knowing later tonight, I'm going to regret that I ate that 7th piece of chocolate or that 7th piece of cake, because in the moment it feels good. And what ends up happening when we have all these different people, and a lot of times it hurts worse because it's the people that we're close with, right? And we feel like they should support us. And so if they're not supporting us, well, then probably nobody's supporting us. Or we start thinking, well, the people in this group are only supporting us because they have something to gain from it. When in reality, when you're part of the right tribe, it is because we love seeing people winning. And there is room for everyone, right? It is not a competition in the right opportunity. And we're going to talk about that tonight. But it's not a competition in this because truly everybody can win. But what ends up happening is all of those little things start feeding into us, and we have a fear of success. What's going to happen when I drop this weight? What's going to happen when I'm making more money? What's going to happen when I'm leading a team of thousands and I feel like I can't keep up now? That's a big one for people. If I already feel overwhelmed with this and I get a bigger team, does that lead to more overwhelm? If I have somebody that's negative and I get a bigger team, does that mean that I have more people that are negative? It's the compound effect, right? Unless we choose to stop the thinking. Unless we choose to flip our script and think, okay, well, if I make more money, then I can tithe more. If I have a bigger team, I can impact more. And I want you guys to really dive into that because for so many of us, it is true. And so what we start doing is we start doing this self-sabotage, where maybe you've had a friend that's been super negative to you about Plexus or a family member. And so you show up for every mindset meeting. You look in the page, you do the things, but you don't really dive into the things because in the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, if I really put myself out there again, I'm opening myself up for more pain or more hurt or for somebody else to say something. And without even realizing that we're doing it, we're holding ourselves back from success. If you have that, if this resonates with you, then I want you to message me today so that we can talk through it. because it can be a really real thing that will hold you back from really diving into the things that you want. Small town mindset is a thing, even if you live in a city. Especially like living where a lot of us live. It's small towns, people talk. And that can feed into our fear stories in a lot of ways. Just one second, let me catch up on the chat. Yeah. Yeah. I love that, Kaylee. And I'll end on that for this little tidbit of information. At the end of the day, guys, people aren't really thinking about us, right? Like they really are not going to bed thinking, oh my gosh, did you see what Debbie posted today? Like they're not worried about that. They really are not. They're worried about their own stuff, right? But in our mind, we think, oh, this person, like they're thinking about it. They're not. And if they are, then you've resonated something in them. They're thinking about it because they want what you have. They want to be where you are. They want to feel what you're feeling. And that's not a bad thing. Some people don't know how to voice those things. And so it comes out negative. But that's what you want. Like you want to put up posts, you want to send out messages that provokes people to thought and change. And so if people are thinking about you, it's because you've done your job. But those people that you're worried about, that like I know I had a couple, especially when I first started, that I was like, gah, because they would either comment negatively or they would say something snarky, or I would have a friend that thought that they were like doing me a favor and like screenshot something that was negative about Plexus. Like, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Like it jacks with my mindset. Those people at the end of the day, they're not thinking about me. But we make it about us, and we don't need to. We get to decide every single day what we do with this. And one of the things that I see people not doing a lot, and the reason that this was really resonating with me, and I want to dive into this for like the next 10 minutes. I know that some of y'all will have some fears about reaching out. It's not easy all the time to reach out about health products, right? Like we talk to people about poop. Like most people don't want to talk about that stuff, right? But it's easier to reach out after you see a post that's like, oh, I don't have any energy. Girl, I got you. Like I've got something that's got energy. Or somebody says that they've not been feeling well or their allergies, and we can reach out and be like, man, I know what you mean. But when it comes to money, as a culture, most of us don't talk about that stuff. And so tonight, for this opportunity meeting, I know that some of y'all are feeling this because you messaged me yesterday and you're like, I don't know how to reach out about this. I want you to flip your script, truly flip your script with this. Top 1 and 2 reasons that people go to bed tonight, any night, and they are stressed are what? Health and finances. And guess what the top one is? Finances. Because what can you get a quick fix for? You can get a quick fix for your headache. You can get a quick fix for your energy. You go down to Starbucks or McDonald's or the local Acorn or Sheets, and you get a Monster Energy drink, right? You can get quick fixes for your health. We can't get quick fixes for our finances. And a lot of us know that stress. Like I know what it looks like when you get the letter from the bank and you've bounced a check or they've had to cover it or pull from your savings account, right? It looks very different than your bank statements. And it's that sinking feeling. I remember it really well. There's not a quick fix for that. Going out playing the lottery, like that's probably not going to happen for 999,999 people out of a million. Not going to happen. But we have something that can change things for people. And even just sending a really simple message, hey, I was thinking about you because I know you would be amazing at what I do because you love people really well. Do you have a couple of minutes tonight to just be my guest on a Zoom? There is no pressure, and see what it's about. Don't just reach out to people. Hey, we're having a business opportunity Zoom tonight. What are you doing? They don't know what that means, right? And the truth is that nobody wants one more thing to do. That's why I didn't want anything to do with the business side of this, because I didn't want one more thing to do. I was already busy. And we get to show that to people. How many of them are already scrolling Facebook, are already on social media, are already messaging people? To show them that they can already do that and then get paid for it in helping other people, that is a huge blessing. So you have somebody right now that's on your mind. Who is that person? And I want you to write them down. Who is the person or people that you would love to do this with? And we're going to dive into it for a couple minutes. So who would you want to do the business opportunity with? And Terry, I think that's perfect for right now. Everyone has the training and talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail? Right? Because that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. There's not, when we talk about this all the time, there's not one perfect person for Plexus. There's millions of perfect people because we all have a story that's ready to be told. I believe that with every ounce of my being. Some people are going to relate to me. Some people are not, and they're waiting for somebody else's story. Are you going to fall back or are you going to fail forward? And I want you to think about that when you're messaging the person that you just wrote down. The next thing I want you to do, we're not just going to send them a message. Hey, 8:30 tonight, there's a business opportunity. I'd love for you to be there. I want you to tell them why. Hey, Courtney, I was thinking about you today because I'm going to attend something tonight. And you were on my heart the first time that I heard about it because you're amazing at loving on other people really well. When I talk to you, you listen, you love people, and you're hilarious. And I know you would be perfect at what I do. Do you have a couple of minutes to be my guest? And just check it out and see what it's about. How different is that? Nikki, I see you working really hard every day. You inspire people just by posting. I know that you would be amazing at what I do. Have you ever thought about this? And would you be open to checking out a meeting with me or a Zoom at 8:30 tonight? Fill people's cup. That person that you wrote down, you wrote them down for a reason, right? Why would they be perfect at this? Why do you want to do this with them? Are they friends with everybody? And that means they have an amazing personality? Are they funny? Do they work really hard? And guess who's really good at what we do? People like Michelle that have 10,000 things going on because she works really hard and she knows what her goals and her dreams are. I know that's why Mina was like, Michelle, I want you to do this with me. I want you to fill people with goals and hopes and aspirations and speak life into them when you invite them for anything, not just tonight. There's a reason, right? So go ahead right now and jot that down next to their name. Why do you want to invite that person? Some people have different feelings about this. I don't use these words, but some people will say, and this is up to you, when they message people, they'll say, I don't know if this is right for you or not. I like to say, I think you'd be an amazing fit for this because it's right for everybody that wants to put the time into it, right? But I do always like to add for people, especially most people know what Zoom is now. But I do like to add in there, like, you can be a fly on the wall. There is no pressure. I would just love for you to see what it's about. And if you'd like, you can add something in there. You know, and just for being my guest tonight, I'd love to send you something in the mail. Send them a stick of Active, a stick of Slim as a thank you. And ask them right up front, like, I would love to send you something. If this is something that you're open to, can you send me your address? Because people love free stuff, first of all. And it's nice to let people know that we value their time. So add that in at the end of the message. And then I always like to ask people if they have any questions. Do you have any questions about what it would look like? If you have more than one person on your mind, send it to more than one person. Take the time today. It's the same link that you used to get on here. I'm going to try real hard to keep it under 20 minutes. I'm going to even put a little like presentation together so I don't talk too much, because y'all know that I can get really fired up about this stuff real quick. And then I'll let people ask questions for about 10 minutes. And this is not limited to just new people. That's why, like, Kim, I love that you've already invited your entire team and your chat was going crazy with it. Because it's super important for the people that we already have, especially those people, guys, that you have that are loving the products. Send them a quick message. Hey, I know you're loving the products already, and I have a goal that I would love to help you get your products paid for. I love seeing people get healthy and get their products for free. What are you doing at 8:30 tonight? And if they're busy, send them the recording. And when they watch the recording, then you can send them something in the mail. Hey, I'll get you the recording. Send me your top takeaway, and then I'm going to send something out to you. Investing in people and investing in your business is never a bad thing. I've said this before, but about 10% of every paycheck that I've gotten since I was probably silver, I have put back in. Some months it has been more because I'm investing in my future, right? We paid $9. Some of us that are on here, I paid $39 to start a business. Like there were no discounts when we started, right, Wendy? Like there was never, if we got a free shipping discount, we were like, what? Okay, there's free shipping for back to school. I'm ordering all the things. We never had discounts. And now it's like, oh, I have to pay $9 for a business. I'm like, y'all, $9 for an entire business that you can grow to 6 or 7 figures. It's $9. It's okay. So invest back in people, always. I think every single person on here has gotten something from me in the mail at one time or another. Why? Because I value you. I love doing this with you. I will always invest back in that and the personal growth as a thank you. I wouldn't be here without you, right? That's the business model that we signed up for. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hey, Brie. Thank you, first of all, for my amazing little package that came yesterday. I was like floored, so excited. Guys, I got gold and she sent me a little gold trinket. And I just want to say thank you. And a makeup case said, thank you, thank you, thank you. But what you just said, I'm inviting my team now. So I'm making a team thread. Do I invite people that are inactive or no?
Absolutely. And I
Okay,
love
cool.
that you asked that, because here's the thing. Why do a lot of people go inactive? They go inactive because they haven't stayed consistent with the products. And for a lot of people, it's because they didn't see the investment in it, right? There is a mindset shift that has to happen for a lot of people And it's, do I want to invest $3 in the quick fix, or do I want to invest $3 in a lifestyle change? And so a lot of people can't see that, like, okay, I need 60 days. Like, I need to invest for 60 days to have this lifestyle change, especially if you know that that's why somebody didn't stay consistent. Hey, I know that you shared with me that you had this goal and you really wanted to be living in the moment and feeling better. But I know that the last year has been really tough. And a lot of us had to cut out things that we saw as extra. I'd love to help you get that back in. Do you have a couple of minutes tonight to just tune in and see how I can help you get your products for free? You don't even have to post on Facebook. But I'd love to help you with this. Y'all, if people want to, they can go silver without ever posting on Facebook. You really, really can. When you have an entire warm market to be able to message people. And amen, Mina. I still like how impactful a you've got paid email. Golly. And here's the thing. I mean, I'm going to do this in our team page today. But impact income for most people, and this they've surveyed this and done statistics. Sometimes we think that an impact income is like $5,000 extra a month. Is $5,000 extra a month incredible? Heck yeah. But what is the margin that keeps people from selling their houses, foreclosure, selling a vehicle? It's not $5,000, guys. It's $600. That's what keeps people from going into foreclosure, from going into bankruptcy, because that's a car payment, that's a house payment, that's groceries, that's electric. Guys, that's a senior silver income. That's 10 people on your team. If you're sharing consistently every single month, right? That can vary based on if people are ordering or not. But that's 10 people. That's huge that you get to offer that. So that's what I want you to do today. I want you to focus on that, inviting your team and inviting new people. Don't just send a message to send a message and say that you've sent it and that you've invited, right? I want you to private message those people. I want you to speak life into those people because it's something that you believe in and that you know can happen. And you're one conversation away from a completely different business. You just don't know when that one conversation can happen. And so we keep failing forward. We keep diving in. All right, Thursday tonight, 8:30. It's the same Zoom link. I'll have everything put together. All right. I love you guys. Happy Thursday. I'm proud of you. Keep diving in to move your needle.